Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see the most valuable player of 2018, Patrick Mahomes, and the Kansas City Chiefs as they take on Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The folks around the stadium clad in silver and black going to make every last game played in Oakland count. They're ready to go as their Raiders get set to match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like two losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they could be well set up for the rest of the year.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken short. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Patrick Mahomes now in his third season in the league, leading the Chiefs onto the field. And, boy, when the Chiefs traded starting quarterback Alex Smith before 2018, a lot of people were wondering how good Patrick Mahomes could be, and he showed the entire league how good he could be, racking up over 5,000 yards and tied for second most passing touchdowns in a season with 50 of them. And he was handed the MVP and Offensive Player of the Year awards. They go play action here on first down. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally. Kelce, such a valuable part of this offense. Made the Pro Bowl the last 4 seasons. 2018 being the most productive when he went over 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, and a great relationship between he and Pat Mahomes off the field. Very good friends, attended a bunch of high-profile sporting events together in the offseason, and that chemistry, it certainly shows on the field. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Now a man who really came on late last year, it's Damian Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this.
Yellow! Come on,
54 Mike.
Cut! Watch the twist!
They go play action. Now Mahomes. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. And quickly now, a look at the Kansas City offense.
At one point, Kansas City thought they had a dilemma at the running back position in 2018, but Damian Williams came to the rescue. A big year for him, the highest yards per attempt of his career, and he scored 4 touchdowns in December as the Chiefs made a playoff run.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And an alley to run. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Mahomes can sling it, but the feet are nimble too as he scrambles for a first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Mahomes going to throw. It's complete to Robinson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Damian Williams, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Chiefs take it right down and score on the opening drive. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt, because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here are the Raiders under head coach John Gruden in his second go-round. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On play action, it's Carr. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run the counter with Martin. And an alley to run. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 39-yard line. Now a run with Martin. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Kendall Fuller in on the stop. A look now at the Oakland offense.
An offensive line play is not something that comes to mind readily, but it's always a big key in a ball game. And already these guys, they're getting it done up front, as we've seen this rushing attack have some early success.
44. Danny.
On 2nd and 7, Carr. This will be caught by Brown. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And they come into top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. From the corner, it was Kendall Fuller with a sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know, they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw, it's Mahomes. And an alley to run. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. Well, you want to talk about making something out of nothing. Boy, he did that right there. What an incredible run.
Obviously a pass play, and he couldn't find anyone open downfield. But sometimes the receivers just run those defenders off, and it creates a wide open space.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On second down, it's Martin. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. To throw on third down, Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Boom! And all down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Here's Ryan Allen now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is away, and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Out comes Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. He's been elusive, very, very good at scrambling, over 100 yards rushing already.
Makes you think that you're going to have to change strategy on defense. That now he has commanded that you use one person on him at all times. What's that, the spy technique?
Yep.
And that's so difficult to do because most of the time I'm not a big believer in it. I think the spy usually gets beat. But in this case, I'm going to sacrifice some pass coverage and take my best, most athletic safety and put him on the quarterback.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Flush to his right. He'll run it. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards. When plays break down, that's normally when Mahomes is at his best throwing the football. But as we saw, he can run it too. Last year, 60 carries, 272 yards, great elusiveness and speed. And the Chiefs obviously don't want him to be a running quarterback, but if he sees an angle like he did there, any opening, he has the ability to take it and run. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. Well, with Damian Williams, it's notable that the Chiefs didn't make a play to go after a big-time running back in the offseason. The coaching staff said back in May they didn't want running back by committee. They trusted Williams to be their starter. You remember last year he was forced into the starting role the final 3 games of the season due to attrition, and he really excelled. And then there he goes left side. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Damian Williams with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And in the end, it was all capped off by the Damian Williams touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
From the gun, it's Carr. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere.
Let's go.
A gain of 19 and picking up the first. This is Jalen Richard, the 4th-year man from Southern Miss. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Carr now on first down. Got a man. It's Brown. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down. Back to the ground, Martin. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. The numbers on the ground for Martin a week ago. 15 carries, 66 yards.
And I know that last week's game is over, but this feels almost like a continuation of what he did in the...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. On third down, Carr. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, the big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
4th down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this. Look at the big man rumble. He's at the 50, the 40, past the 20.
Sometimes you're never quite sure there's actually scheme that got the ball blocked, but I know one thing. The special teams coach, he's going to take the pats on the back for it anyway.
It's always interesting to watch after the block, the scramble for the football. Nice job there. They kept their wherewithal, got it, able to return it.
And on that, he can take the pats on the back because once you get the block, everything that happens from there is really controlled chaos. And you try and control it through your practice, through your teaching, and understand, expect to get the block. And once we do, this is how we respond.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. This defense porous so far in this first. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was all capped by Patrick Mahomes using his legs to get in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Richard looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? To throw is Carr. And that is incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for Oakland. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And take it right on the 30. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. And now here comes Kansas City. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down.
Yellow. Marjolani.
54. Mike, 54. Stop your whining.
On first down, Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the grab. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Now Hyde, and he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Carlos Hyde, his first touchdown of the new season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Butker on for the PAT.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it was capped off by a Carlos Hyde touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now it's Martin. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports.